Homicide cases continues to grow. The calls for bond reform are also ramping up. Our team coverage on this tragic shooting and the demands for change continues now with our Taisha Walker. And Taisha, you spoke with a judge and also advocates today. What are they telling you?
Chris, same as you just heard from that family. They are frustrated. Crime Stoppers of Houston also frustrated. The suspect was out on bond. We know that he was wearing his ankle monitor and has 7 active felony cases pending. Also, as part of conditions of his bond, he's not supposed to be around any firearms.
How is someone who's got multiple convictions get out on 7 felony bonds?
Andy Kahn with Crime Stoppers of Houston is referring to the man family identified as Zacchaeus Gaston, who's accused of fatally shooting his child's mother, Layla Steele, Thursday at a West Houston apartment complex. Steele was holding their 1-year-old son, Zeus, who was shot in the ankle but survived. The mother had a restraining order against Gaston, but it was dismissed by a judge. Kahn says Steele is now among 124 Harris County victims murdered by defendants released on multiple felony bonds.
We have no issue with someone getting out on bond, but what we're seeing is those that are repeatedly being released.
Gaston's criminal history includes aggravated assault, indecent exposure to a child, evading arrest, felony possession of a weapon, violating a protection order, and more, all within the last 10 years. Gaston was repeatedly granted bond in Harris County's 351st District Court under Judge Natalia Cornelio. Trial attorney James Powell is that court's former judge.
In some cases are apparent. I mean, if you have someone who, as I mentioned, clearly cannot perform well in society and keeps coming back with multiple cases, it's time to shut the doors.
Powell says judges have to find a balance between public safety and a defendant's rights.
It's somewhat of a lose-lose situation because regardless of what happens, somebody's going to be unhappy. You don't want to be in a position, obviously, where somebody loses their life.
Kahn says the number of victims in Harris County will continue to grow unless bond reform is taken up at the state level.
This is why we desperately need legislation. It's to give judges the discretion, for whatever reason, they're of the perspective that they have to release.
Kahn says he hopes that Governor Abbott takes up bond reform during the special session and says he will be in Austin when that takes place and will definitely bring up this case involving this tragedy involving that mother and her 1-year-old son. Reporting live in West Houston, Taisha Walker, KPRC 2 News.